Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our Supreme and Master Speakers, Omega Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Aurora White, Psyche, Asuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Lily Black, Bob Cece, Mictor Robintow, Anethus Moonscar, Pamela Isley, Elenriel Maximus, Coderith Novelist, Mira, Celestau Notrell, Lazy Boy, Luke Osborne, Pandaloo Stormarrow, Tex, Kylin, Arthur Law, Biridan Derard, Cypup, Spencer Christmas, Celine DeLune, Edwin, Webster Wolf, Severa, Circa Barrakiel, Kazran, Ventos Tia, Ryark Forbear, Leighton the House, Tony, Arcadia Luna Shine, Framboise Zaccaro, Bergie Fudge, Sethfield, Cafe, Gregorium Cartas, Eros, Uananitsa, Mira Moontail, Tyler Curly Fries, and Nat Clay. Get early access to audio and video versions of the show, including the post-show, by supporting us at patreon.com/speakersxiv. Thank you. Good evening, Aursians. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 455. I'm Lakil Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston, Mela Vanadar, and Rollo Des. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Today, it is May 31st, 2025. Oh my god. It's June tomorrow.
I know.
Aye.
Wake up. It's going to be the first of the month again.
We're
halfway through the year, man.
Yeah,
That's
the
crazy.
6th month.
Gosh, yeah.
That's crazy. Today we're going to review patch 7.25, which primarily is Occult Crescent. Now, I'm going to tell you, we're not going to discuss anything but Occult Crescent. We're not going to review Allied Society quests or the Hildy stuff. It's just Occult Crescent today, so don't worry if you're worried about spoilers. I think we're going to discuss the deeper implications of Occult Crescent's story at a later point, in a later episode, when we have time. Also, send us mogmail, speakersv.com/mogmail. Give us your thoughts on Occult Crescent. Maybe you have... We're going to talk about the Relic today. There's going to be some discussion about the new Relic system. Maybe you have some thoughts about that too. You can speakersv.com/mogmail. We'll read it next week. Yeah, that's the show. There's obviously recent events that we're going to discuss in a second. And also stay tuned if you're watching live. We'll be answering questions from the Syndicate. And I guess it's time to do Gen 2 Pokemon Shinies for real this time.
Oh, yeah.
In the post-show. So if you're watching live or watching it on Patreon, if you're a patron, that's coming up after the main show. Okay, that's it. Let's jump into the show. It's time for recent events. Right, we start off with some items. New optional...
Get some shilling.
Yeah, some shilling. New optional items and limited time sale is upon us. One of the... well, I don't know how to describe this mount, but there is...
It's a poppet.
It's a poppet mount.
But it's the one from the... Deadwalk, the whatever it is, Deadwalk from Living Memory in. I don't think the color scheme is as good as the one from Dunscape, though. Agreed. To be honest, I would probably have picked the Chimera Poppet or something as a mount. It'd have been a little bit more thematic.
That's true.
This is just like another Mandragora type mount, but I like it still. I might get this one.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It can be yours for €16.80. There's also
£13.80.
There's also the imp attire and the Cactuar dining table, the stuff from last year's
Make It Rain.
Yeah. That's it.
£3 each. The imp attire is equal to a clock, an outdoor clock.
Yes, that is true. I thought the Cactuar dining. Oh, because we got the chairs the year before, right? Was that how this worked? Do you remember the chairs?
You might be thinking of the
Cactuar
Valention's thing with the heart-shaped table and the heart.
No.
Chairs.
There were.
If you're thinking about the Cactuar chairs, they're purchasable in game.
Yeah. But they were just like shadow added at some point. I remember we were like, wait, where did these chairs come from?
That might be true. Yeah.
They were at some point. This is the
true.
table that goes with those, I think. That was the chairs were released with no table. Okay, so anyways, so that's weird because if you now want the full set, you have to buy the chairs in-game, and then you have to buy the table for real money.
I think it's a really ugly table.
It looks very uncomfortable. Yeah. It's got spikes, so don't sit too close to that one. Well, anyways, that's going on. It started on the 27th of May. Will last indefinitely. It will. Yeah, indefinitely. We don't know the time, so
The
for when it will end.
items are just old.
It just says limited time. Yeah.
So it's not like a store-wide sale. It's nothing crazy.
No. Oh yeah, sorry, the sale. Yeah, the items featured above will be available for purchase after the scheduled maintenance. It is available. There may be a delay in delivery of items directly after sale, so that won't be a problem now, hopefully, seeing as we're quite far into this sale. There you go. Go get your poppet mount if you want it. I feel like we talk about them every month, but here are the Primals. Again, there is a new CD available for pre-order from the Primals called Dark Decades, which is, I'll read the post, with less than 2 months to go until the start of the Primals Dark Decades tour. Goodness, it still hasn't started. I feel like we've also been talking about that for the past 6 months. We're delighted to announce that the Dark Decades CD is now available for pre-order. Furthermore, the CD can be previewed on the newly updated official website of the Primals and features band arrangements of Give It All and other favorites from the Arcadion, so you can enjoy these exhilarating renditions while waiting for the official release and upcoming tour.
Cool.
Yeah, goes on sale in July this year. Has six tracks. Ride the Rhythm, back. I mean, I didn't want to throw any shade, but a CD with 6 tracks.
Well, I think this is more of an EP than a.
Yeah.
This is more of an EP than an album. Yeah. I was going to say is this is pretty much every song from the Arcadion except 2.
Okay, so. It's weird that they don't specify this as an EP, but I guess whatever. They call it an EP whenever it suits them, I guess. This is, Ride the Rhythm, Back to the Drawing Board, Not Afraid, Unleashed, Be My Honey, Give It All. Those are the 6 tracks.
I want to hear Koji Fox live rapping Back to the Drawing Board. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Those lyrics, they still haunt me.
Yeah. This is a physical release. There is no information about it being available on streaming, it seems. But this is the physical album is what we're talking about here. If it comes out on streaming, I'm sure we'll cover that too. But yeah, it is available on their website. Go to the Lodestone post and check it out there. I suppose you can do.
Yeah, what we were talking about previously was their last tour, the Live in Japan Darkest Before Dawn. This is Dark Decades.
Okay, so this is a new tour.
It's a brand new tour.
God, they're busy. Okay, there you go. That's the Primals. That's the Primals. Now we're gonna spend most of this talking about the patch because this is pretty massive content. Don't worry. We'll have lots to talk about. All right, Occult Crescent. But let's talk about the. Is there anything in the patch notes? Worth
for Occult Crescent.
For not Occult Crescent, that's worth talking about. There are some battle system changes that have happened.
They buffed machinists, but just AoEs.
Okay.
For some reason, they said they noticed the performance was like not good in raids, and then they were like, "So we buffed AoEs." So,
yeah, because I think they were talking specifically about match 6.
Oh. Okay. Well. Yeah.
I suppose in Savage it's quite tight, I guess, on the ad phase.
Yeah, they've increased. That has been the reduction. So what they've specifically done is reduce the potency after the first target. The reduction in potency after the first target has been changed, and then it's been changed. It's gone down to around 30 and 35% for the skills.
I'll show the new hairstyle, Akil.
Okay. What?
Yeah.
Show the new hairstyle, Akil.
Okay. Fuck me up, fam.
It's awful.
Well, okay.
Awfully good, that is. as a big fan of not seeing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say as a big fan of hentai.
Oh yeah. I'm this guy. When I have that hair, like when I have my character has that hair, I'm them.
Okay, because I was going to say I don't believe your hair can do this.
I tried really hard. Maybe if I got like a really good perm, I don't know.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. The damage.
I'm pretty sure at some point I had, if not the exact same haircut, very close to this haircut in my youth.
That's believable.
Let's
It's
see.
like down to the nose though, the bangs.
Yeah, but that's so hardcore.
That's
So you
hardcore.
can hide your eyes, dude, so they can't see you cry. Dude, that's what we did.
But then your mascara runs down.
No, well, I never wore that. I didn't go that.
Oh, you didn't have any
Wasn't that
guy
hardcore?
liner, fake emo.
Wasn't that hardcore?
No,
Fake emo, no guy liner.
no. Listen, there were two camps. We can't go down this path in my emo past.
They were all camp, Laquelle.
Yeah, they were all camp. That's true. All right. New side stories, Occult Crescent.
There's so many quests.
But
they're all short.
That's true. They're short. We'll talk about the confusion in some of them, though. Mamulja Society Quest.
Look at the game, Mamulja.
Yeah. You can't say that.
That's what happened in the big city.
Look at the game, Mamulja. New furnishings have been added.
It's the orb.
Big orb to ponder.
You can ponder.
Pondering me orb. Get that in the FC room. Put it in front of all of us, please.
Okay.
Sorry, I just noticed the tablets on the ground. I didn't see those before.
I want to say, there's something. It's a lot. This furniture is very big.
But it fits though. It fits aesthetically. Like this scene is okay.
It fits aesthetically if this is the only furniture you have in the room, because other furniture looks like tiny, like Lalafell furniture in comparison.
I mean, look at the size of that food. Can't even tell what it is.
That's tiny.
Food for ants.
They're
bro.
playing with perspective here, so you can't tell that this is like very oversized compared to other furniture.
Yeah, I mean, imagine having to read from those tablets on the regular.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did Moses do it?
Imagine if that's what Yoshi P pulled out every live letter.
Yeah. His tablets. God, he does so many tablets.
Described, scratched in with the new tome gear.
All right, new Orchestrion rolls, Manderville Gold Saucer. They've added new cards, new opponents.
Is this new opponent locked behind Forked Tower? Because I know a card is tied to Forked Tower. Is that because it's a triple triad opponent that I haven't seen, or is that Hildy? I hope it's Hildy. This is not a question for you. This is a support chat.
It probably is. Probably is Hildy.
I would imagine it's Hildy.
Okay, so they've added new stuff to the challenge log under field operations. We'll save that. Okay, so here's the haircut. Dude.
Oh, what fucking bangs with the undercut.
I mean, I've put this haircut on my character right now as a joke, but I'm like, inside is still the young me, and he's like, oh, fuck yeah. Because this was the shit back then.
I will say, of the male hairstyles they chose in the last hairstyle design contest, so many of them are like, so many of them are like K-pop coded. This is one of the more unique ones.
That's true. That is, this is true.
Very hentai coded.
Even though we did see a VTuber with this hairstyle recently.
Oh yeah, that is so funny. We were just laughing at
it. Someone also said if you like, depending on how your character looks, it looks like a shaggy dog too, kind of.
Yes.
You know, maybe like an Irish wolfhound or something.
Yeah.
I think with the larger races, the Rogadins and the Hrothgar, I think it's more. That's more of a thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't hate that it's in game though. You know, a lot of the K-pop ones, I was very like, oh, these are all the same.
Yeah.
But this one turned out better than I expected.
I mean, compare how well this was. They were able to reproduce this in game to the last hairstyle we talked about.
I don't even want to talk about that. Don't.
Yeah, the fried hair versus the. This is good. It's okay.
I think the part that makes me not like it though is the undercut. I mean, that's what makes it K-pop. You know.
I agree.
I guess. Yeah.
If it
I
didn't
wish
have,
it wasn't an undercut.
yeah, if it had like a little bit a taper or something, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe a ponytail. Give me a rat tail. I don't know, something.
Yeah. The like layering is weird here. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
with that.
it's a little too short on the back for where the undercut.
You'll never
actually-
find me with an undercut.
New
I don't
emote.
think this gets across the motion of the emote really well.
No, the emote is very.
It's cute.
It's
It's
cute.
very expressive on women.
Yes.
Yeah.
On men, they're like that. That's a little too fruity. You can't move like that.
Nothing's too
Straighten
fruity.
up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it has a weird slow wind up. At first, I was like, "What is this emote?" It's quite good, but like it's very hesitant. Stars like,
yeah,
I'll do it. I guess
it's like a guy who's like really self conscious about like moving in a gay way. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting.
That Mamorja.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, battle system. We are not going to go through all this, but there's stuff. They've changed some stuff
Some
on
of these are
Ninja.
Phantom skills.
Are they?
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Wow, I don't know.
Phantom.
What's Phantom Kamai Tachi?
But I think
is that just a normal
that's
ability?
that's just a normal ability.
That's a real
This is
skill.
This is real. Phantom
one's that?
exists outside of Occult Crescent, Mela.
But which
That's
one
like
is
the
that?
little. It sends out the your character like a phantom of your character to an attack. It's like an AOE.
Oh,
target AOE.
yeah.
I'm
A new ninja.
we mentioned the machinist stuff. Summoner as well. Summoner has got the same treatment, it seems. Yes. So a potency reduction. Do you think so? These are changes maybe they've done in before Occult Crescent, maybe for Occult Crescent. Seeing as most
There
of
was
these are AOEs.
There was some dev commentary on the one. Is it the job skill sites where the dev commentary goes? Saying that it was related to raid damage or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I see. Okay, and then we have the Occult Crescent Southhorn. This is a very long part that we will be talking about in depth more in a second.
Can you go to scroll quickly back up to the golem picture?
There.
Where is it? Why is this not the English client?
Oh,
Yeah.
Crescentia Golem!
Crescentia Golem.
Because I saw this in the patch notes, and I was like, where are the Crescentia golems? And then I looked at it. That's just a stinky crescent golem.
yeah.
This is nowhere near as fancy as I was promised.
No.
Aw.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, that one slipped through. Yeah, we'll talk. Yep, yada yada. Going on. Yeah. Come on, move on. Chests. Yeah, carrot. A carrot. PvP.
If we're not going to do the real PvE skills, we're not going to do the PvP.
No, we're not going to do the PvP skills. You're right. That's probably okay. Season 14 and season 15 will. Season 14 ends of Crystalline Conflict. Season 15 will begin. You know how that is.
I'm happy about this. This is when I've always said it should happen. It should happen at the point X5 patch. It always happened in the point X8 patch in the past.
Yeah.
I don't understand why it was always so late before.
Yeah.
Tell people the servers that they have to go to now to actually play PvP, to ranked PvP.
Ranked PvP season 15 will be held in the following data centers: in Japan, Gaia; North America, Primal; Europe, Light; Oceania.
Let me guess.
What do you think it
Materia.
is?
Yeah, it is Materia. It is, of course.
It could have been mana.
It could. All right. They've also made adjustments to just specifically frontline. It's the job damage. What? No, wait.
Yeah, because frontline
This is how they-
is balanced separately.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah. It's based on percentage of it, just
Has
overall damage.
Has this
output.
always been the case, or is this like something we've started with now after
Since some of the recent changes to
frontline?
I think since
Tune up,
the
like
big
maybe
overhaul of
Endwalker.
CC. Yeah.
Okay.
Not like right now, but definitely since they did the CC updates, you know.
Yeah.
Because there was the part where people were generating too much gauge or whatever, a limit break in front lines. I think that was the first one they started doing it differently.
Yeah. Okay.
You see, Monk, for example, has reduced from plus 15 seconds to 0 seconds for their gauge fill rate. So they have
specific stuff just for this.
Chain. It's almost like modeling designed.
Yeah. Paladin. Oh, yeah. Interesting. For Paladin, damage dealt increased from -20 to -10%.
They were dealing too much damage, but
I like an increase from -20.
Yeah.
To
if we get to 0, that'll be great.
Yeah.
Because tanks in general are more powerful in front lines than they are in crystalline conflict.
Okay. The following adjustments have been made. Oh god. Big updates to Borderland Ruins Secure. Tactical points required for victory have been reduced from 3,000 to 2,400.
That's fair.
That's fair because it did feel a little too long. So yeah, that's a good
Shatter
change.
was similar when they upgraded Shatter.
It was 2,000 at launch, I think, and now thankfully it's 1,600.
Yes, yeah. Tactical points earned for defeating interceptor drones have been reduced from 15 to 10. And tactical points earned for defeating interceptor drones alpha have been reduced from 45 to 30. Tactical points earned for defeating interceptor command systems have been reduced from 30 to 24. Tactical points earned for defeating interceptor nodes. This is quite a significant change. Interceptor node have been reduced from 225 to 150.
I think people who were doing PvE and the PvP were obviously winning too quickly.
Yeah, I guess
ignoring the middle was obviously far too detrimental to other teams, so they've just slightly made it so you can come back better, or you can take the points instead, or just actually PvP.
Yeah. The HP of interceptor nodes have been reduced from 1.8 million to 1.5 million.
That's interesting for them to give us a numerical value of how much HP something has.
Yeah.
Very rare that we know that detail, unless you're a naughty person.
Yeah, you'd think they'd give us like a percentage of the reduction, but they gave us the number.
So now we can do the maths while we're hitting it and see how close.
Hard to do the math because you would need to be alone.
Need everyone else's numbers.
Yeah, or that, yeah. Tactical points earned for knocking out players of opposing teams have been reduced from 15 to 10. Now, something I have to say, they have reduced the tactical points required, yet they have also reduced the points that you get for doing goals. Will this have much of an impact on like game time, you think? Like maybe
marginally.
It won't be as big as it sounds when we say from 3,000 to 2,400, because the point accumulation will have been slowed down quite a bit by these changes. Tactical points lost when being knocked out have been reduced from 15 to 10. Okay?
You'd hope so.
So that's that. New items. So these are we'll talk more. This is something we're going to talk about in a bit. So let's not.
The Arcanite gear.
They have made the changes to some of the... the changes. They have made changes to the was in the wrong place. To the some of the gear in game. These are all the Eastern. No, sorry, Nezalord as well. Okay, no, it's just gear.
It's a lot of stuff related to the Far East.
Yes. Yeah. Eastern Lord's Togi, for instance, is now Far Eastern, and that also now applies to all the Eastern gear.
They've made some of the wording
more generic,
not culture specific, where it's inappropriate to do so.
Yes, like Neza Lord's Togi is now Neza Lord's jacket.
Because a lot of these were like we talked about a while back. They were Korean, but they had the Japanese words for the item of clothing.
Yes. So all of that has been changed. So good change. Doesn't really change anything other than the name. So good. The progress required to complete cosmic exploration projects has been reduced. Now, what we were seeing almost immediately after the release of Occult Crescent was that obviously cosmic exploration was abandoned. Because
it's lame as hell, dog.
Shut up! Right. No, it's not.
All my friends love OC.
I'm still doing it.
I mean, I think Cosmic Exploration is good, but I don't think any of the progress bits were entertaining in any way. I didn't get any real enjoyment from the server-wide.
Well, it also makes sense that when new content is released, the old content gets abandoned. That's just how it is. You want to play the new content. Why would you sit there and craft while there's Demiatma to farm?
Exactly.
I think it's funny that while they reduced the amount of instances from 5 to 3, I'm still seeing like maybe 6 people spread across 3 instances at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So what we saw immediately after was that the progression fates just all started to fail because no one was there to do them. They've changed that. They made a change there. They probably already knew this was going to happen. This is obviously planned ahead.
It's far too highly tuned, especially the dancers. People who didn't actually participating.
I also think Chad is correct that it is crazy that no server was fully upgraded by this point. I would have thought that it was designed for it to be done by the time Occult Crescent was out.
I almost think maybe they planned for that. Yeah, there was a lot of... They didn't account for people just giving up after doing 2 delivery. Well, they did make them painfully boring, so maybe that's why. But
yeah.
I don't know what the status is. Like we're getting close.
To check that.
They've actually removed the Cosmic Exploration side panel from the lodestone.
Yes, they did. I didn't like that. I went to the lodestone and like, that's how I normally get there. Now I have to actually just type in Cosmic because my browser remembers that.
Officially abandoned.
Cactuar seems to be the furthest along. They're very close to getting to the progress fate for the Nadir lift preparations. They're at 16.
Never ending these steps, it feels like. I don't feel like that.
Ragnarok's on 14.
Good lord. Get it together. Well, you can. It's fine right now because you're doing Occult Crescent.
Oh, actually, Moogle's further ahead than Cactuar. Yeah.
Oh, a European server. Interesting.
Well done.
A French server.
Français, so beau. I don't know. Okay, the difficulty, maximum quality, and rewards for certain missions in Cosmic Exploration have been adjusted. They've changed the A1 difficulty.
Of a specific mission.
Yes.
It's so annoying. My macro.
I know, that's what I was thinking, Mela. Now what do I do with the macros that Mela made for me?
You have to go back to what is the solver? Raphael. Make a new one.
But this is only for the 916 900.
Yeah.
It's only for one type of recipe, one genre.
Yeah.
So it's only one macro that needs it.
Yeah. The adjustment is as follows. Difficulty has... What?
I don't know if you need to go through these.
Sorry, difficulty is up from 900 to 5,000?
That's the amount of progress you need.
Yes.
Yeah, but they barely lowered the... Oh, I see, because this is the fucking annoying one. Yeah, okay.
Well,
it's the annoying one. Okay.
It's one of the annoying ones.
Sorry. Okay, I see. Wait, do we refer to that as difficulty, though?
Yeah.
Isn't that just called
the game
progress?
does.
The game calls it.
Oh, it does?
When you're in the actual craft, it says progress, but when you look at the recipe, it says difficulty and quality.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. That's like 3 groundwork. That's true.
More.
Look at these buffs to the rewards, look here.
Numbers going up, baby.
Cosmo credit from 17, 18. Lunar credit, 19, 20. Cosmic class score, 178, 182. So there you go.
So it'll be like 4 times faster.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one.
During Cosmic Exploration, on-screen text will now inform players that gathering points are not being displayed when a stellar mission is accepted without an active status of prospect or triangulate. Oh yeah, because there's like a bug where you might accidentally turn off prospect or triangulate. Well, you can turn them off.
There's a button that you can do to use this. It's not a bug.
I know. But...
I just don't understand why it's a button still. I don't understand why you would ever change into a miner or a... botanist and not want to have prospect or triangulate active.
Was this not an issue we read in the issue report thing, known issues where people did not have prospect?
I don't believe so. I think,
but didn't
I
it throw
genuinely
shade?
think this was an...
No, I remember now. It threw shade because it was some people are unable to find gathering points when going to a mission, and then it's we believe some people may just not have it turned on. I remember us reading that. It's some weird.
Okay, so there was a bug
text.
where it was turning itself off.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can right-click it off. That's probably why they still need the button.
Yeah. New miner and botanist.
Well, I don't understand why. What I mean, Mailer, is why is it a status and not inbuilt into the job?
Yeah, it should just be built in.
100%.
Why? Okay. Actually, though, I've been annoyed at this for so long, and I don't know why this has never been brought up. That should be a fucking trait. Nothing else. When, as a gatherer, do you walk around without triangulate on? You can't do shit! Oh, I'm gonna RP turning off triangulate so I can...
I'm G-posing.
Walking around.
My
you can't do the job!
All the gathering nodes probably have a variable saying
No.
visible.
It is...
And when triangulate's not on, when you're around in the world, they're all there.
The trait
auto turns it on.
The trait is the auto turn on. It shouldn't be able to be turned off.
I agree it shouldn't be able to, but I reckon the way they've set this up means they can't do that anymore.
No.
I agree. I think it's ancient spaghetti at this point.
It is very ancient spaghetti. Stupid. New miner.
I understand why they haven't changed it. Just because, why?
It works.
It's kind of a waste of time for them.
Yeah. Also, this is not a dig on people that RP. I'm asking, is that why it's there? Is it so you can just... You can RP with triangulate on.
No, because they don't like...
They don't like the glowy thing in the distance.
White dots in the background.
Yeah.
Yes.
It ruins the immersion.
I see.
And then they have to say, that glowing thing.
Chad is also correct. Bishop, I think, at this point, is the job with the most buttons.
Yes,
which is crazy.
That is true.
That's fine.
New miner and botanist.
Big business.
New miner and botanist gathering points have been added. New items have been added to gathering points. This is obviously for
just the Memul.
Yeah. The following adjustments have been made to fishing holes in Yaktel. They've changed the level of ankle deep and bitterbark cenote has been reduced from 95 to 94. Okay.
There's probably something to do with for low level gatherers.
Oh, right. Of course. Yeah.
Because gatherers are in 5s.
The level of cenote Moxtural and cenote Jayunja has been reduced from 96 to 94.
I think you said this perfectly.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
I speak Mamulja perfectly.
Yeah.
New mounts have been added. This is the new big airship, multiplayer airship. New minions, cute turtle.
It's my tortoise.
The bird.
It's a cute turtle.
That's not just any bird. That's a Skollen bird. From Scholar.
Oh, right.
Isn't it Skullick, not Skullen?
Skallic bird. A scallywag bird.
Yeah. To go with the new hairstyle, the My Chemical Romance parasols.
I got the white one.
Yeah?
In a chest. Looking for the black one.
Look at this smug fucker.
Yeah, I'm kind of a big deal.
New face wear has been added. Yeah, he looks like I'm a big deal.
Yeah. My new guild making video just got 212 likes, so...
I think it's really funny that we got this new not this hairstyle, but the hairstyle that covers your face and the glasses. So you can't use both. If you use this, if you use the glasses with the hair, you can see the red part of the glasses if you're lucky.
Hey, Nikhil, I wore glasses and had hair like that.
Yeah, and then you can walk around with your little parasol, be full My Chemical Romance. All right, system. In order to reduce server congestion, we will be implementing multiple field instances for Tuliolal, Yaktel, and the area newly added in patch 7.25. That is currently in effect.
Phantom Village.
Yeah. Sinus Adorum's field instances have been reduced from 5 to 3, so less.
Still think it's too many, but I'm not on a super populated server, so yeah. I don't know.
The division of Mare Lamentorum has also been removed, so it's just one zone now, or one instance. And they've added the... Okay, we don't need to talk about the duties and... Phantom actions have been added to the duties and actions traits window.
I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
They used to only be like 2 or 3. I don't know how many you could have before.
New achievements and titles, new portrait accents, new adventure plate accents. All of this is stuff from Occult Crescent. Anything else here before we move on to... no, let's not talk about the resolved issues. We can just move on. Yeah?
I don't like that one of the resolved issues was that there was some sort of graphical glitch when Lullafels wore like the beach... the swimsuits. I don't want to know about what the graphical glitch was.
I don't want to know about
Keep
that
that to
one.
yourself.
Don't want to know about that one. Okay then. So Occult Crescent is finally here. I will say I would say currently it feels like quite successful release, this one.
Yes.
I'd agree.
Kind of like a blend between Eureka and Bosnia, taking the best of both of those and put that in one piece of content. We're gonna break it down a little, so we'll start with the story because I think we're gonna be referencing the story a lot while we're talking about this. We'll not go through it entirely. We'll just loosely discuss what the story is. So let's say spoilers, but spoilers. Let's just say spoilers. It's safer to say spoilers with an asterisk. If you don't want to know anything about the story for Occult Crescent, tune out now. I'll do this when we're done talking about the story, but... okay. I'll forget. They'll just be like, I've muted the entire rest of the episode.
I like you saying, I'll do this, especially for audio listeners.
For audio listeners... Literally, there's nothing I can do for you.
Yeah. If you listen to this in audio, if you're driving right now, listen to this in the car, Luke hates you with a passion.
People in their car like frantically trying to mute before we start talking about the story spoilers. Don't worry, you can pause and just not listen anymore and come back when you've done the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say, whenever other podcasters say skip ahead 10 minutes, that's never accurate.
No.
I don't trust it when people say, if you want to avoid spoilers, skip ahead blank amount of minutes.
I only trust when they say...
timestamp.
Yeah, timestamp or chapter. That's it.
Yeah, edit in your message saying, you can jump ahead to this point.
But if you, as a video viewer right now, think that I'm going to chapterize this part, I won't. So
you have another thing coming.
You got another thing
a whole
coming.
section that says Occult Crescent review.
That's
last 50 minutes of of the video.
That's right. Okay. So story. This is we have we're on a... How do we describe? We're on a mission for.
It's Kettenram's last expedition.
Yeah,
that's
one last job before retirement.
Yeah.
Or he's coming out of retirement to do one more job.
110-year-old man.
He's 70.
Don't think about his age.
No, I don't.
What was his age again?
We got his age in the.
It was 80 years ago when he sailed.
Oh no, he's in his 90s.
Yeah.
Or was it 60? It was either 60 or 80 years ago when he sailed west to the New World.
Yeah.
He was under the age of 20 when he sailed. That's bold.
But we did get his birth year, didn't we? In the field notes? Is that where we get it? Or where did we know that he...
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's in the field notes. I just don't remember it off the top of my head.
And we are in the calendar has reset since he was born.
It's confusing.
But yeah. Anyways.
That's the year he discovered things. Okay.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. So we're going with him to Occult Crescent because he explains. Well, it doesn't really like there's a mystery in the in Shade's Triangle.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, it's a dangerous place.
And he wants to map it out so no one ever crashes again around that area, I guess.
Yeah. And we go there, and like the island, like phases in and out of like we see it and then it's gone, and then we see it and then it's gone, and then we eventually find it and we make landfall, and it's abandoned, which first I was like, oh no, oh god, okay, it's abandoned. These are ruins of something. Did
you really think there'd be heaps of people here?
No, but I was hoping there was someone, and there is. There is.
There's 2 people.
Yeah. We find a sarcophagus, and I have to say the first part of this story is very nice because they don't put you in an instance with other players for a long time. You get to experience this first part all on your own.
It's like when you first played the game and you walked into the drowning wench of Limsa.
Yes.
No one was there.
Yes.
And then once you completed the first 2 quests, you see someone twerking and RPing on the
Yeah. We eventually find it also does a good job of introducing you to the field note thing where you have to go up and find the thing so you know what they look like. And then we get into a building and there's a sarcophagus. Sarcophagus opens. Well, we hear a voice in our head, which is an important thing to know.
First, there's also a seal over the voice over the sarcophagus.
That too. There's a seal. Well, we hear the voice while we're like trying to figure out how to get through the seal or whatever.
Well, also when we were sailing there.
Well. Yeah, we've heard the voice several times.
The island.
There's a mysterious voice.
The island kept disappearing, and then somehow we get magnetized to the island.
Yeah. It's a tomberry in the sarcophagus called Archives. Plot twist. Archives has no memory.
Plural?
Archive. I think I was just say archive.
Yeah.
Archive is. It's obviously not, but I thought, is this like an archaic twist on like Data? Like Data from Star Trek, but like it's archive.
Maybe in a little way.
It's not, but it's. I was thinking that. He has no memory of what happened or why they can't remember anything. And that sort of, you already now know what the story is going to be. It's going to be trying to recover their memories. And then that's that. Then it kind of just like naturally leads you to the relic quest, because you have to go talk to another dude by the entrance. And I think that dude talks about the relic dude. I don't exactly remember how the crossover happens, but at some point you get introduced to the relic quest as well. There's not much to say about the relic quest other than it's Geralt again.
He's happy you're here again.
Yeah, he's in debt and needs to do something again because he's a drunk loser. And
he's not a loser.
He's a loser.
No, he's not a loser. But
he's the best blacksmith.
Well, he is being played as a joke. You know what I mean? Like he's always like, oh yeah, he's indebted.
Yeah, he was teased earlier when you're on the ship itself. It tells they tell you that someone drank all the alcohol.
Yeah. Yes. Getting in there. So now we're in the actual. Yeah. Yes.
Can I say quickly, when he tells you that you need to go get some Atmas, or demi-Atmas in this case, if you have done either A Realm Reborn and maybe Heavensward, I don't know, and you did the Atma phases for those, your character will show despair on their face at having to get Atmas again.
It's very funny.
I didn't realize this at the time, but I realized it afterwards. I was confused when you two were reacting to this cutscene and we were doing it on stream because my character was not in despair because I have not done those on my Chaos character. They just sort of like, because to me he just looked dumb, like stupid.
And like, I see.
You guys seemed you guys were laughing at the
it was a good reaction.
The PTSD
so I didn't
just
get
hit hard on my character when that happened. Yeah, it was flashing behind his eyes.
I will say your character still makes a stupid face when they first hear about Atmas, though. It's funny.
Okay.
It's just a different kind of funny than what you guys got. I did see the actual despair on my main.
Okay. That's yeah. We'll talk about the Atma stuff later. Just finishing up the story. The story is not that. It's not actually. It's good. A lot of lore, but it's like not too big. Do you know what I mean? Like it's hard to describe.
There's not really many locks behind. There's no level locking of it either.
No.
You can technically do it all from level 1. Well, you wouldn't be able to stay at level 1 because it does give knowledge, experience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's discuss that a little bit, because that is a little. There is some criticism with how the certain quests are explained, or like how they function. You have to get. So Archive needs information. He
learns by you seeing things somehow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the weird link you have with them.
Yes. So we have to go and get these field notes that are in, what are they called? They're called something else here, are they?
Survey points.
Survey points? Yeah.
Survey points to get field notes. Yeah. On the map, on the field itself, they're called survey points.
Okay. Yeah. You have to find some survey points, and I think the first one is the first one marked on the map. The first one you ever do?
None of them.
None of them
survey points.
The first one you see is at the entrance, though.
Okay.
It's just like off to the side.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you just naturally kind of go to it.
Can I just say, Chad is so correct. Imagine telling Archive, like, last week I was on the moon with some rabbits.
Yeah, it was very difficult. Yeah, so that's sort of where you can already tell where the first criticism for this is going to come, is the fact that they sort of just vaguely tell you where to go to find the field notes. Now, this is a kind of content where exploration is encouraged.
We should probably say that Archive has been asleep since the end of the 5th astral era.
That's an important thing.
That's
true.
Yeah.
He left because he didn't want to spread the plague.
Infect other people.
Yeah.
And then he happened anyway. So
Yes.
unfortunate.
Yes. And people followed, apparently, like didn't follow him specifically, but they arrived on this island after he arrived.
It had changed since he had fell asleep.
Yeah. So you go to find these survey points, which is the first. Yeah, that's really the next point, because we struggled with this one a little bit, because you don't know which ones you need. There are multiple survey points, but they need specific survey points.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
You go first.
There's one of them that really, really irked me, because I didn't look up any of them, and I got all of them save for
I know
2.
which one.
Yeah.
And it's the fucking one that you think there'd be one there. You look at the map, you see the little circle in like the middle south part, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, there's gotta be a survey point there, right? Yeah. And there isn't. So you walk off the edge and you keep going, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's right behind you, but your camera doesn't see it because that's the only one I looked up. That's the only one I was like, this is. I know I have to find the civilizations. What do you mean? It's not the vantage point. It's past the vantage point. Horrible placement. Hates me so much.
Yeah.
That's actually not the one I thought you were going to talk about. The one that I've seen most people complain about is the one for the Nimian section, and the fact that it's on a rock
the one on the rock.
of this. Yeah, because a lot of people thought that it would be in, or at least closer to it than where it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one we struggled with.
I think that's the issue with them.
Yeah, they're a little easy to they're very easy to miss. Like the
as an
survey
example, in the marquee section, there are like 3 survey points,
mm-hmm.
and one of them is inside the actual marquee section.
Yeah.
And one of them's just outside the little city bit, and then the other one's just for the forest there, the elder growth.
Yeah.
And you don't know which one, so you go there and you get the one inside the marquee tower, the massive pyramid, and you're like, brilliant, I've got that one.
I got one, yeah.
Best go and do like another section.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just slowly piece together that you've got the wrong one. So you have to go back and keep searching. I don't mind it. It's exploring, but they are very hard to see. And like Rollo says, they're not always logically placed.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Like some of them are, right? Like the one in the southwest on top of like the spire temple thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's the one you don't need for the
you
never need
civilization.
The ones you need are fucking why'd they do that, man?
I think
it's a minor thing really, but
yeah.
A small thing they could have done to make it a little less frustrating would be the ones that you're looking. Just make the ones that you're looking for a different color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even
I
just
would have been fine with a compass
outline.
too.
Or a compass,
like the Aether compass kind of thing, where it's like, oh, you're you think you should get a vantage point like maybe west of here or something like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't think I needed that much help, but I can see why.
Oh God, when we were looking for that, like, I don't even remember.
But we were
which
always
one.
leveling at least.
It was the Maki one that we were looking for, wasn't it, Mela? The one that was by the
Shadowed City. Yeah, the
one that's outside of the city.
Yeah, it's outside. It's like, what the fuck?
They're all outside. The ones you need are all actually outside. They're not inside the civilization.
They expected you to naturally go towards it to survey it, I think, but it's not how you would do it in a game. It's not how you would think to do it.
Well, because because it's non-linear. There's no like clear direction that you're supposed to arrive at it from.
Yeah, and they're so small.
Yeah,
but I did like looking for them. It was very fun exploring the map.
Yeah.
I like it. It's just the number 3, whatever that one was, or not number 3, in Stone Marsh.
Right.
Fuck that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you have to do this quest type sort of repeats. The next time you have to find 3 rocks from 3 different civilizations. And I don't exactly remember what. Oh yeah, and then next you have to do the Void quest, critical engagement.
That's like the final step.
That's the final step.
Yes,
After
that's
that, you're
the final part of. That's essentially the end of the storyline for this piece of content.
Very easy like quest to do like on paper. Essentially, you just pick up things, return. That's it. Do a critical engagement. The story is essentially what we're getting from Archive is that you'll know there were 12 city-states during the 5th Astral. And there seems to have been.
Apparently, there might be more.
A 13th that was forgotten by time. What's it called? It's from 5. Karnak. Yeah.
But they also worship Naldthal. I want to know the member of the 12 city-states that worship Naldthal that actually got to be a part of the 12 city-states.
Yeah. So the 12 city-states, as far as we know, they were located on Aldenard, I think. So yeah,
and Vilbrand.
And Vilbrand, yeah. What is now considered Eorzea, essentially. The 13th, we know that they were Turbans, is one thing we know, and they worship Naldthal. So it's very easy to think they might be in Othard or in Thanalan.
Not Othard.
Sorry, not Othard. Where, you know... No, the other one.
Alamigo
Desert? Alamigo land.
Alamigo.
Yeah, whatever that region is called. Girabania. There we go.
I think Girabania is a little less... The only reason I think Girabania is a little bit less likely is we already know Scala was there.
Yeah, it would be...
But there could be a couple... It's a small realm. If you try and put 12 city-states, maybe even 13 in Aldenard and Vilbrand, you don't have much room left.
Would have been very...
It's not what we have on the map. Yeah.
Right,
I mean, there's Pakistan, there's regions we don't have access to, like, that could have held city-states once upon a time.
Yeah. I would love to see a map of 5th Astral Eorzea. That would have been crazy.
That'll be the time.
I understand why there was
a treat like that. Who knows?
Don't even.
I mean, we've already talked about the idea of making an RTS based on the 5th asteroid.
That'd be cool.
I understand why there was a war. You know, like that would have been very tense in terms of borders.
But most people didn't take part small continent. Initially.
No, that's true.
No, because they were destroyed.
The war of the
superpowers that
the superpowers seems a bit unfair, really.
Well, yeah.
I think those
yes.
people.
Yes.
I also think Nim didn't conquer any of them. I think it just had the advantage of not being near them.
Yeah.
I think more people should have jumped in, got involved.
Our archive also then mentions like we have this we have our villain, quote unquote.
I don't know if they're a villain.
No, that's why I'm doing for audio listeners.
Someone else is here.
Apostrophes, quotes, whatever they are. The creator, the
architect.
The architect. That's it. They believe
but it does use the term creations, which is very interesting because that's the term we generally ascribe to ancients.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very non-zero possibility that an Ascian had a hand in the War of the Magi's starting and has taken a liking to their architecture or cultures or whatever and took a snapshot.
Is this an Ascian?
Yeah,
That's how I feel like with every fucking
It's
quest line we
it's
have this expansion so far. And
really
so far, none of them are Ascians.
True.
Good.
Yeah,
I like it
agree,
because
Rollo.
Yeah.
well, it'll be really funny when they're all Ascians by the end because they couldn't think of anything better.
Yeah, these buildings are built. It's essentially kind of like a museum, like where they've been preserving the architectural. Yes, a very dangerous museum, where they've preserved the architectural designs of different civilizations from that era.
5 of the 13 civilizations.
Yeah,
I'm worried that we won't see all of them.
I worry too, but I was.
We have to see what's on the North Horn.
Yeah, they might hopefully just pack them tighter in the second half. I pray.
Could be a big
There's 8 of the 12 city-states that we haven't seen, and who knows about any others because they chose to introduce Karnak.
Yeah, see that's one thing that I don't know if I quite like that. We already have.
What do you mean you're skeptical of Karnak?
I think that it is one of the 12 city-states, and
I feel that way as well. I feel like it should
believe
be.
It was a weird comment for them to make.
Yeah, that would be good
There's
if that's
no
true.
reason.
That's what I think too, because we already don't know what most of the 12 city-states were. So why even bother introducing another secret 13th one when essentially how many do we know? We know the ones that are in here. Essentially, that's all the city-states we know from the
North Horn's going to be a journey of discovery altogether anyway.
Yeah.
Who the hell are the rest of them?
So I wonder if that is just bad, like if they're not bad writing, but like just weirdly.
It could just be a mistake because there have been mistakes they've made in
weird
translation before.
Possibly, because I think Archive said specifically there were 12 city-states, but they don't recognize this one. Or this is another, or something. I don't exactly remember.
They said
the
it
wording.
rivaled the strength of the 12 city-states.
Right, that's what it said. So does that mean that this is a 13th, or is it one of the 12? But he does say
it could be the equivalent
it's
of
a minor
the Guardian
culture.
Empire.
Yeah,
as well.
It might have been. Who knows? I guess we'll find out. But I do worry that we don't, because of that, we won't actually see all of the city-states of the.
Oh, they're not going to give you all of them.
But we already
can't do that.
But we already have 5.
We have 4
Oh, no, 4.
5.
Yeah, 4. If you.
What a horrible man, the architects. Like, these are the ones I like, and this one's not even from here, but I really like Karnak.
Yeah.
I like their buildings.
It's his pet project.
And then the rest of them will all die.
Well, the architect might have a link with Karnak. Maybe that's why that's included.
He's a Karnakian
He
himself.
could be a Karnakian.
Could be a Kim Karnakian.
Kim Karnakian, yeah, that's true. Could be. And then there are 2 towers. There's the Forked Tower and the Blood. No, sorry. Yes?
They're both forked towers.
So they're both forked. Sorry, there's the Blood Tower and the Magic Tower, or Tower of Blood and Tower of Magic.
Yes.
The Tower of Blood is on this island, on the Occult Crescent,
the South
Horn.
Yeah.
And the Magic.
They're both
one
on the
is
same
North Horn.
island.
Yeah, sorry, I meant the horns.
2 horns.
There are 2 horns.
Make up one island.
Ed boy. That doesn't even make any sense. So the that's essentially where we leave it. They kind of go, okay, you figure out the rest. Go dally in the tower or something, and then
There's a fairy called Iris here, by the way.
oh yeah, we
didn't mention
completely
her.
forgot about Iris, but yeah, there's a
Iris
fairy.
seems to be.
She's a fairy that spawns in and will always fly away. She doesn't just disappear.
Yeah,
She's
that
related in some way to the architect.
Yes.
Whether she is like. Whether whoever the architect is, he or she is also Iris. Like it's like a. Like what Reacher does with the little boy, the whatever that's called, or whether they are an independent person, I'm not sure. Yeah, Vashon. So it's hard to know, but she's okay. A bit weird.
she doesn't really add much to the story other than mystery about what
a bit
is in there.
exposition, sort of like, and then just bye.
Yeah, being a little annoying whenever she's on screen. But yes, yeah. Doesn't like
one
Archive.
thing is, no, he doesn't. One thing I can think Lakil might feel is that it might be a little frustrating that we still don't have that much information on Amdivor yet. But as someone that actually had someone from Nim to interact with, I do find it frustrating that I can't even say to him, "Oh yeah, by the way, we have a cure to your disease."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That'll come later. You're just like teasing him a little bit.
It's like the Stormblood thing when you were a healer and they even said if you're a healer there'll be special options, but obviously nothing really changed.
Well, there was one option where they insult you and say, "You're a healer, why don't you help?"
Yeah.
Great, right?
We know that there's going, before we get Northhorn, we are getting new Phantom jobs. There is a chance that maybe there's more story content patched in with that.
I expect there to be more story because the idea that there's no story between now and then we have 2 patches of no story at all until we get Northhorn.
I agree. There's no reason why they wouldn't have an additional thing. The confusing part of the story is naturally you would probably be somewhere around level 10 to 14 or so when you finished the storyline, and they all start
or 5 like I was,
or level 5,
yeah.
And they start talking to you about the forked tower, and there's a new forked tower that's just appeared. Get over there, check it out. But you can't actually go in until you're level 20 knowledge.
They
level.
do say, Mela, it's very dangerous. You might not be ready straight away.
They do say that, but
it's worse, Mela, because as you also said when I unlocked it on stream, it even says in big glowing golden letters, "Forked Tower unlocked."
Unlocked.
So you're like, yeah, baby, I'm ready to go. No, you can't.
No, you're not ready.
You're not ready.
I agree, but I also can make the argument that this is just like getting eye level locked on a much bigger level.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Because you can unlock a dungeon and then the game can say, "You don't have the eye level for this." This is basically the same thing.
Yeah.
A quick black text box just to go, "Forks Tower Blood is accessible from knowledge level 20."
It should say that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
That would be all it needs.
How do you feel?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't expect
patch.
otherwise to.
No, but the only way it actually states it is in the patch, or maybe if you go to the guide NPC, they might have it. I've not read all the guide NPC's text. But it's just the patch notes, which is a little odd for this game. They're usually very good about that.
Can I, as someone who just redid the quests again, I like that when you get to the one where you have to do a critical engagement, it tells you, it gives you, if you don't know how to involve yourself in a critical engagement, it directs you to the guide. I don't think you could get that far without having participated in a critical engagement.
Yeah,
you
that's
might
true.
have just passed
They
them all
could have
by.
been grinding just mobs the entire time.
Oh, that would be awful.
Well, but we're about to leave the story
It
thing, but
warns you every time there's a critical
it does.
engagement.
Yeah, you might not know how to get there.
Yeah.
Let's just wrap up the story a bit. Like, how do you feel about we mentioned that there's no level cap. How do you feel about that? Like, you can finish this without reaching the level cap.
I like that.
That is just always
that's
available. Because
That was the
Eureka,
worst part of Eureka was that you do one line of dialogue for the quest. They'd be like, "Oh, this is really, it's just getting good. You need to be 4 more levels higher to get the next bit."
Bosnia did that too.
I didn't like that. I felt
if you're
icky.
not looking it up too, you can. It's kind of a natural-ish progression for the most part. As you get deeper in, you'll probably find, I would say, most of them by yourself if you spend the time doing it.
Exactly.
So that I prefer that than just the hard level locks.
Yeah, I think that because that was so I mean, I barely remember it from Bosnia, but I definitely remember it from Eureka being like, okay, we're in a good, we've got let's go, and then the quest ends, and then that fucking red symbol, and then you click it, and you have to level 7 levels. It's like some weird absurd number that you have to go up, and fuck you, and then you have to wait. Here you can just go. If you want to do the just story, you can do just story. Do that.
I mean,
power through.
There's so much about this that is an improvement over Eureka.
Yeah.
You're not level capped out of the Ethernet shards.
No.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That was pretty
You're
rough.
not level locked out of mounting up.
It's not tiered.
Let's talk about the map.
That's a Bosnia thing. That's not a Eureka.
The map improvement.
I think just to say on the story, because you were talking about that you can do it all in one go. There's not a huge amount of story.
No.
But somehow it feels acceptable doing it this way. I think it was more obvious how little story there was in Eureka when it was split into 3 lines.
Yeah, 3 lines and then a lockout.
Somehow this works better, even though it's
Bosnia, my God, like I was expecting kind of Bosnia level intro to the quest. I was like, okay, we're gonna get like a weird instance or something, you know, like with Sid.
Yeah.
No, you get right to it real quick.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, I do appreciate that instance though they made for Bosnia. That was still cool. So
I will say about that though. I will say that about that though, Rollo. That instance was all we had for the first patch.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. True.
Also, it had some pretty rough prerequisites if you hadn't done some raids.
Yeah. Because we did not. We got the instance in 5.2.
Yeah.
And we did not get Castrum Lacus Latore. Oh, not Castrum. Well, the Bosnian Southern Front until 0.3.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was when the pandemic hit. So we were left without it for more than 6 months.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We do get quite of a spectacular intro. We start on a ship. You know, we get a whole ship instance.
It's fine.
Yeah,
the base area is pretty cool.
That didn't feel that different. Well, that didn't feel that different to me than the start of Dawn Trail.
Well, I mean, but that's the start of an expansion.
Or indeed the start of Stormblood, where we went to South
Yeah, that's true. I will say, if you look at this, don't look at the ocean when you're on that ship, because that ocean does not move. That is a still ocean while the ship moves, so don't look.
Well, it's mysterious around.
Perfect conditions.
Perfect. Yeah. Very perfect. Okay.
No way, not a wave in sight in the deep ocean.
Okay, let's talk about the map itself. No, like with Bosnia, there's no blocked. You can walk the whole map right from start to
finish. You can do everything.
Yeah,
you can do everything level 1 if you wanted to.
Yeah. Am I right in saying that Bosnia did not have the level?
Bosnia was locked.
Oh no, Bosnia was
every 5 levels.
Yeah.
No.
Eureka was unlocked.
I'm talking about the actual map.
The tiers. The tiered structure. That was
Bosnia was blocked into.
Oh yeah, okay. So this is new. Gates. This is new. No gates. Okay.
There's no gates. That's the thing. Eureka had gates in its Ethernet and in its mounts. Bosnia had gates in terms of actually not being able to go
they
places.
just had actual barriers that you could see.
Yeah, it was like a laser wall checkpoint almost.
Yeah. Okay.
It was really lame.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, yeah. So this one free. Completely free. You can map this whole thing day one.
And in fact, I recommend doing it. I recommend doing it day 1 before you hit rank 5.
Yeah. And
you can start losing knowledge levels.
That's true. That's fair.
True.
Yeah. Because some of those areas are scary.
That's why on my main, I beeline the story of Occult Crescent, so that if I died, there was no risk of losing any knowledge experience.
Yep,
that's true.
It feels it's not too big and it's not too small, and it feels kind of like a large
open.
Yeah, it feels open, but it also feels like a Realm Reborn map. Do you know what I mean? Like in detailing, it's a lot of stuff to look at in this map.
It feels open, but also detailed in the sense that one of the to compare it to Eureka, I would most compare it to Animals, which I think is the ideal design for of the Eurekan zones.
Yeah,
Pagos is Pagos. Pyros is very narrow passageways going in all directions, and Hydatos is way too open. There's no detail to the map.
It's just open, nothing. Yeah.
Whereas this feels open, but then there's small sections where you can explore each of the civilizations.
This is sort of related to the map, but I think also the mob placement is really, really good. It's pretty. Yes. It's lighter on the the open parts of it. When you get in caves or the hallways, much denser. It feels much denser.
Yeah.
Which makes it feel a little more perilous, especially when you're getting to like the fucking hallway in the mock area. Like if you turn the corner, there's a level 23 mob that will one hit you.
It's
funny.
Trying to climb to the top of that tower in the Karnak section to get that survey point. When you get to the top of the staircase and there's just a little devil staring at you.
They're the hardest ones. Level 28 on top of that. But I like it. There's also a good distribution of them. Like you say, you can be in this area you think safe, and then you go in a room and it's suddenly got like a level 15 mob. Like that's way above you. I like it's well distributed.
This is what I want in the overworld.
Same.
Yeah. I want to get one-shotted by a mob while I'm leveling through an expansion.
The only chance you get that is the A ranks and S ranks.
And the thing about the overworld, it's not as punishing. So even though it's like there, it doesn't feel like you're losing so much out of it.
Right.
Yeah. Any death in the overworld in the base game, it's more just funny to me most times. I think that when it happens now, the only time it happens if I walk off a cliff and a mob tags me, and I'm just like, well, I'm gonna die.
The one thing that's different here from maybe this was also the case in Bosnia, but like I've started comparing this primarily to Eureka. Because I feel like it has a lot of the spirit of Eureka. They've cut the aggro range for how long it'll hold. I mean, like the release point for aggro is much shorter than it was in Eureka, and I think that's good because some of the enemies here are very strong, and it's nice to have a chance to escape. In Eureka, if you tagged or you got the wrong monster after you, it was over. You knew it was over. The running was just you were delaying the inevitable because eventually you would die.
That's the other thing about Eureka, because you were mount locked for so long. You are slower. Whereas here, most of the time, unless you're actively trying to kill something, you're on a mount, so you have the chance of escaping.
Yes.
Also, the aggro type is mostly sight, and you can get very close to enemies before they tag you anyway.
That's
it's
true.
very forgiving.
There are some cast ones,
when they aren't sight,
there are some caster ones.
That is very funny when someone's trying to res you, and then they're like, "Hold on, let me." Instantly tag level 22 mob. Just dies.
I like the face blocks that just like. They stare at you and you're dead. Because they're ranged attack.
Ooh. There's one thing though that I feel I miss a little bit from Bosnia, though I understand and can also appreciate not having it. Teleporting to CEs, my God, when you don't have the amount speed.
But you get like 3
Rollo
minutes
saw
to
me
get
miss out on this today.
It happened to me too, and that's why I was like, I'm not buying any jobs with my silver coins. I'm just getting the mount speed because this.
That is the official recommendation from speakers of Heidland. Get that riding map.
It's 3K, kind of steep, but it is well worth it.
It is.
You will miss out otherwise.
Yes.
Okay. The good thing about them though is you're guaranteed to get in if you make it. There's no there's no not joining in.
There's no limit to how many people can participate.
And 2 minutes is a lot longer than you think when you actually...
You can get to most of them. If you see it spawn, you'll get... And you've got every etherite, you'll get there. Even on
the mount speed update.
Yes.
Fates are another matter, but...
Let's
get to almost all of them.
The fates.
Okay, since we're talking about it, let's start with... let's talk about the fates, because there's something happening... that's interesting. I don't know if this was intentional, probably not, but now that people have started to get high levels, so fates are fates. We can just mention that.
They're just fates.
They're a little more advanced fates because they have actual mechanics and stuff.
They can hurt.
They do hurt a lot.
They do hurt a lot, but players hurt a lot too now, and a lot of fates now will essentially melt almost immediately after spawning, unless there's a CE up where everyone's engaged. Certain fates, like the Mike Wazowski one, the lady with the breasts and the feet, and the succubus, the two ladies. They melt so fast. Yes.
Lady with breasts and feet. describes almost every woman that exists.
Yeah, but if you know, you know. That's all we'll say. If you know, you know.
Yeah,
you know.
Those like grass ladies too.
Yeah.
Boy.
Thank you, Rollo. Yes,
That's true.
I'm glad you've appreciated
Let me
them.
tell you, I'm not a pervert, you know. I don't like zoom in my camera.
Liar.
I've not heard a
You're a liar.
in my life.
You're a liar.
Listen,
hold
I'm
on.
not a video game pervert. I'm not one of those guys that like, let me clip the camera so I can like see some
I have
booty, you know?
Never heard you lie more in my life.
But
Sorry, hang on.
Yeah.
What about that game we played, Chained Together?
Yeah,
Check
we're
out
all like,
Sunday
let's see if we
stream,
can
guys.
clip through.
it's different.
Because and I
wanna
quote,
do that.
sometimes they model the nipples, you said.
No, listen. I say this because like I wasn't looking for it in that model, right? With the grass, whatever the tree ant lady, right? I was riding past and I just rubbernecked. I was like, oh, whoa, huh?
The light caught them. Yeah.
Fates, they're fine. They're good if you have a party. I did some soloing earlier today because I was like, I want to see what the Fate is like. I did some research to see how it's like
same.
if you're solo. Miserable. If you are
Only for healing issues, though.
but if you are not there when the Fate starts,
Oh, yeah.
because when you're in a party
That's true.
and other party members have already done damage, fine, you get gold.
Yeah.
If you're not, you're going to be there at 90%, do like cast 1 Dia as a white mage or whatever, bronze. You are guaranteed bronze.
You just got to be on it.
Yeah.
You gotta have that
sure
tank
gotta be on it.
privilege. This
That's
is
true.
the content. You have the most tank privilege.
That is
Yeah.
Fucking 16 stacks of vulnerabilities in some of these fucking CEs.
true.
Meanwhile, if you take 2 as a healer DPS, you like it's over.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
true.
The next raid ride will get you.
Yeah.
But tanks they'll keep going. It is insane.
Yeah.
Don't do this as if you're not doing this as a tank, you're doing this wrong. I'll say that.
Let's talk about because we're going to talk about CEs in a second. They're obviously the better battle content, but like
CE stands for critical engagement. If we haven't mentioned
critical engagement. Yeah. It seems like the system is as follows: there's only 1 CE at a time and only 1 Fate at a time.
Yes.
So it makes it easy.
No, multiple fates can be up, but only if one of them is a
Oh, there's a
fate.
pot.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I
Pots are
forgot about
separate,
pot.
yeah.
Is a separate type of. It has the
three
CE
types.
symbol, but like slightly different.
It's triangular.
Yeah.
It's like a dark blue too.
Yeah.
It's the
Yes.
bunnies from Hydatos.
Pagos onwards.
Yeah.
It started with Pagos.
Yes, Pagos.
Pagos? Oh, right.
There are 3 types technically of like content. There's the fates, and then there's the pot, fate, whatever it is, and the critical engagements. All 3 can be up at once, but no more than that.
Yes.
I
good.
think that's a good way because then it's easier to manage what you're doing instead of being completely overwhelmed, which was what happened in like Eureka when there were like NMs spawning everywhere and like Pazuzu was up. It was like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
If you want to train, follow the train, choo-choo.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Very easy.
Very
easy to do
comfortable,
train.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Oh,
very
that's true.
fun.
It
Yes.
really was the train all along. Long live the train.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about critical engagements. That's like the main battle content, other than Fork Tower, obviously. But how do we feel about this one? This one, like
I
we
would say
said,
they're fantastic.
yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
Each one of them is a good, well-designed Dawn Trail quality boss.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
They have unique, fun mechanics in most cases. They're all fun. I don't think
They're
there's
all
any
unique, and
I
they're
can't
all
think of a boss
good.
I don't like.
No,
in this
yeah,
content
exactly.
Right now.
There are
bosses I don't like because they're hard. But other than that, it's good.
I think they also all benefit from the fact that Vuln stacks don't drop off as long as the fight is
Oh
continuing.
yeah, that is.
There's no time limit on how long you can have a Vuln stack.
Everyone needs to
So
see your
many.
shame.
Yeah, it's better to
On
just
tanks
die
every time. God.
Sometimes I'm like, I just want to die so I can clear that shame stack. So I'd rather have
here's
Brink of Death than the Vuln stack.
But if you survive a critical engagement without getting a single Vuln stack, you'll get a battle high, which makes you more powerful for
Oh yeah, that's
15
true.
minutes.
That is true.
That's a
Is
really
that
cool
was that
system.
confirmed though? I feel like
I think-
it wasn't always confirmed.
Yeah, I
But
thought
you
that
could get it
yes,
even if you
how
get
it's
Vuln
pla-
stack.
silence.
I mean, well, I can say that every time I've done it without a Vuln stack, I've gotten battle high, and every time I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
got one with a Vuln stack? Okay.
Yeah.
It's. I think it's just
I've just
pure.
been unlucky.
Higher
Then.
chance, maybe.
Oh,
apparently people have gotten it after dying too. Like they've been dead
That's
and they
true,
got
that's
white and they
so
get
it's
it.
just a random thing you can get.
yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, it seems like not having Vuln stacks increases your chances for getting it.
Okay. Okay. We're still, as of the recording of this episode, still not 100% confirmed. But there you go.
No.
Content's progressing, and that's the fun part about this type of content too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still some mystery out there.
Mm-hmm.
Rollo, don't be harsh on the tanks, all right? If you're leveling Phantom Knight and you're high enough level, you have a 90% damage reduction skill. You might as well just take the hits.
Yeah.
You're not going to die.
There's no point
Yeah.
in
You're not
moving.
going to die with that kind of mitigation.
Yeah.
I mean, we should talk about the Phantom jobs too. This is a very good system. I like them. They're all very interesting.
Yeah.
Why is there ninja? Why did this?
Because it was a job in Final Fantasy V.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like these are implied to be like lost arts. So there's like a
Ranger.
Well, no, he specifically said that this is how they were practiced in this era.
Yeah, old,
Yeah.
outdated
Does-
jobs,
yeah,
essentially.
this is
Yeah.
Monk 2.
Yeah.
And Ranger's close
And
enough
Bard.
to Archer.
These are the jobs of
Well,
the
Bard
old-
already exists.
the fifth
That's true,
astral.
Bard, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is just a lot. I think a lot of people have still got nostalgia for the Lost Action system, which is fair enough. It was its own unique system,
Yeah.
but I think I like condensing them into roles rather than having any kind. Because you could have the most messed up set of Lost Actions and just be useless.
Well, also,
But
you
all
only
of
had
these are
two.
required. Well, also true, yeah. These can have 5, 6, skills to do. Well, 5 skills to do with and some traits and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable, very clever. Some of
It's
them
much
are
more clear,
incredibly
too.
unique.
Yeah.
Oracle, for example, their like abilities are based on length of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like you cast the ability, and then after a certain amount of time, it'll change into a different skill that will do like a heal. But then after that, it'll do damage, and then at the end of it, it will basically kill you because you've let it last too long. So they're very interesting.
Yeah. They are.
And the thing is, they all have. There are some very unique abilities that they all have, and while we haven't done Mailer's stepped briefly into Fork Tower, you need people of each job to clear certain mechanics within Fork Tower.
Yeah.
Like thieves can detect traps, oracles can levitate people.
Yeah.
Rangers are needed to disarm traps.
Yeah. She says synergies between them.
Time mages are needed to dispel certain skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's stuff that's really good for just overworld content. Cannoneer, I really like because it has a 5%. It's a very low chance, but it has a 5% chance to insta kill.
Yeah.
Which just it looks really cool when you like pull a mob and then it dies instantly. It's like
Yeah.
Cannoneer is probably the best job if you want to farm gold coins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a really interesting activity.
Well, yeah. Let's
quite stressful.
let's talk about chaining because that is somewhat related to very much related to gold. The gold currency, silver you get from everything,
Fates and
essentially
Cs.
fates and Cs. Gold coins you get primarily. Do you get it from a Fork Tower as well, Mela? Do you know?
Not sure.
As
As the only person still alive after the first mechanic, I still don't know.
Okay.
I died straight after.
Well, we know for sure that you get it from chaining mobs. This system was very mysterious to us when we first.
Or
You
killing
also get it
mobs.
from just killing mobs.
From killing
It's
mobs,
within a
yeah.
level.
Within
It's within
2
the-
levels
I think
above
2
your
levels.
own if you're solo. But we were
Yes.
told. Remember, he talked about it at length in the live letter when Yoshi P is him when they were presenting Occult Crescent. We were sort of rolling our eyes and going, "Oh yeah, we know what chaining is. It's in the game." And then it turns out it is actually a little bit more complicated than that. If you're in a party specifically, the rules sort of change. You need to be. Someone wrote a list about the discrepancy. I think it's if you're a full
it's in
party.
the patch notes as well.
If it's a full party, it's like 7 levels above. I think is
7 to 8
7 to
levels
8
above you. Which is why there's level 28 mobs on the top of the the southwest corner of the map.
Yeah.
I did a max level gold farming party, and it was on top of there, killing the Dullahans and demon things. It's very stressful for healers.
Yeah, I can imagine.
They make it easy too, because they show the little chain symbol on top. You don't even have to try and do math or whatever. Like just find them. And also the party sync too. It makes it even easier.
Yes,
that is true.
It's a really nice feature for them to choose to include in this. If only it existed in the overworld.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Other than that, chaining is pretty straightforward. Just do mobs in a chain before the time runs out. Yeah, long live the chain.
Just keep going as long as you want until your hands hurt.
Yeah.
Quickly about the jobs. I've seen some people talk about how the experience for phantom jobs feels a little slow. I think I agree in terms of how it feels, but then you also have to consider the fact that this is content that has to last essentially until 7.55.
Yeah.
So
or 7.45 if they give us new jobs then.
Yeah.
So we have a long time to level all of these.
I'm absolutely fine with the job leveling speed. Like, I've no-lifed it a few days and I've done okay. I think I've got like 3 jobs up.
Yeah.
Out of how many? Like 9, 10, 11, whatever it is. So
yeah,
there's
a lot.
of
12.
to do.
Yeah, we're going to be in here for a long time.
So we're going to,
Yeah.
And they're all fun to level and they're all interesting.
You start with 3. There's 3 for silver coins, 3 for gold coins, and there's 3 that drop from certain critical engagements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones that drop is Ranger, the
Oracle
and Berserker. Yeah.
Berserker.
Okay. Let's talk about the relic, because it is deeply tied,
obviously. Let's talk about drops.
Let's talk about drops, baby. We mentioned Demi-Atma.
Rollo's being forced to complete a relic against his will.
I am. I have 3 of like 2 of them now.
Yeah.
And I'm 2 on everything else for that.
Have you tried drinking?
Yeah. No. Let's be real. This is the easiest Atma farm I've ever seen, because the drop rate
if you do it in
quite high. Yeah, that's the asterisk. You can do this either in the new content or outside, but if you do it outside in like the which zone is it?
Dawn Trail zones.
Dawn Trail zones.
All Dawn Trail zones.
Yeah, all Dawn Trail zones. That drop rate is very low. You better do it in the Occult Crescent, and that's exactly how it should be.
A lot of my drops actually got from the overworld. Well, not because I was trying. I was just doing some fates to get some levels and do some challenge logs. I got like 3 of them. Like not even trying.
Can't even escape.
You might have comparatively, you could have.
He also could have been very lucky because I think I've been, at least in regards to Demi-Atmas on Ragnarok compared to Crystal, I was much luckier in terms of the Demi-Atmas I got over on Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I've got much more progress at this point. I'm at rank 10, knowledge level 10 on my main, and I only have 1 Demi-Atma, whereas I had way more at this point on Ragnarok.
Yeah, it is.
It's rough, but
it is gated through RNG, which I think is funny because some people will have been way longer in Occult Crescent, and I will say I only have 2 Atmas left. I have only played the Occult Crescent when we've been streaming. And there are other people on this show that have played Occult Crescent a lot more than me, and I was, as of yesterday, way ahead of them. I'm not going to say any names.
I mean, both. It sounds like both Rollo and Lakil are ahead of this person.
Oh, yeah.
Which, wow.
I'm not even trying, but I'm literally not even trying. Like, I'm just doing them as they appear. They're going to fucking give me it. This is the only relic I'll actually complete, like, 2 steps, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's a good system. It's fine.
Think it's good.
You stay in the content, you do the thing. I mean, I've leveled other... I do Occult Crescent mostly for enjoying the phantom jobs and leveling them.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have a relic within a week.
No.
Have you been to the overworld zones?
You shouldn't have a relic on patch day, thank you, Mandeville Weapons.
What did you say, Roland?
So,
have you been to the, like, Dante overworld zones, by the way? There's huge fate parties.
Really?
The likes of which you've never seen.
Are those people that are just in denial about Occult Crescent? Is it some weird
I don't know.
protest?
Like, I was just, like literally, I was just doing some challenge logs and getting some levels. There was, like, tons of people. Full parties.
If they haven't completed their shared fates, they might be just trying to kill two birds with one stone.
That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe
It's
that's where all the healers
But
went.
I have to say, if you start complaining about Atmos when you've only done Dawn Trail fates for the drop rate, you can shut right up, because that's not where you're supposed to do the relic.
I've seen people complaining within South Horn.
I know.
Yeah, people are
taking so long.
Because people aren't... Because
taking so long to kill.
People that started playing an Endwalker, for instance, that have never had to deal with a relic in their life, I want to buy it.
Oh,
sorry.
It's not your
That's
content.
not
That's
how
a
it
tome
works.
weapon.
Yeah, that's a tome weapon, dude.
A member of our community said today that we should call these people Endwalkerers.
Endwalkerers. Yeah, Endwalkerers.
Because it's similar to... the reason they brought this up is because they were comparing it to people who started playing fighting games in 2009 when Street Fighter 4 brought all the people back to fighting games.
O9ers.
They're called O9ers.
I see.
So this is why they proposed the idea of... I do like the name End Babies.
End babies.
Oh, yeah.
End babies.
New slur just dropped, guys. End babies.
I have accepted, though, that, I mean, they're going to cry and, be annoying about...
Yeah.
Which I have to say, again... Probably the most forgiving RNG step of a relic I think we've ever had, because like I said, I only have 2 Atmas left. I haven't played that much. It is luck based, obviously, but you just do the content and you will eventually just get a relic.
Maybe some of the memories, maybe some of them were higher drop rate.
Yeah,
from,
maybe
the Southern Front stuff.
Yeah,
I'll say
memories you needed 20 of each
That's
of
true.
them,
You did
so
need
I
more,
can
that's
understand why they'd be higher.
Yeah.
As far as relic steps go, and relics in general, I'll probably say one of the better first steps. Mostly because I don't have to go out of my way to do it. I didn't do the Endwalker ones because I don't feel like turning in my tomes to get those dumb weapons.
Right.
Here,
well, then you might not like the next step then.
No.
I mean, I probably won't like the next step because I hate fucking relics. They suck.
Yeah.
At least with this one, I accepted the quest and I'm just getting them, because I like having fun in the Occult Crescent, and I am burdened in my inventory with these Atmas. So
yeah.
I guess I just have to complete it.
And you don't have to gather that many. It's just 4 of each, and there's 3 of each, and it's just 6 of them. So it's it's a very
so 18 total. It's the exact same amount you needed in Heavensward.
Yeah.
The first step,
but very different time and drop rates. Let's just say that was a nightmare.
That was my first experience with the relic. I was like, this sucks. I'm never doing this.
I've mentioned this before. I think when it was 4 a.m. just despair, and I had there was this one Atma, and I started questioning. The last hour was just me questioning.
Luminous Crystal.
No, the Luminous Crystal
for Heavensward.
Yeah, that was the first step for Heavensward.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking about the actual Atma.
You skipped it because you had the...
I never did that. The Atma step was so horrible that they were like, okay, you guys who did the Atma relic and has finised that one,
you can
skip this step.
You can get your nodules straight away.
And I was, thank you, sir. Thank you. I did that, of course. Although you did have to destroy your relic, which was kind of horrible.
You did.
I didn't like that. No. I just got the Luminous Crystal.
Oh my god, you did.
I mean,
God, I couldn't do that.
I still get Luminous Crystals this day, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
I never did that step. I never finished it. That's how pissed off I was with that. I was like, this is the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah.
I mean, as someone that did rejoined just before 3.1, I'm someone that I thought, you know what? I'll just go back and do an Realm Reborn relic. That's probably easier than finding Luminous Crystals, right? I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
No. Realm Reborn's tough on a lot of steps. It requires a heck of a lot of poetics.
It does.
Yes.
A real lot of poetics.
And low-level materia, which is exceedingly rare in this modern economy.
Very expensive. Yeah. To do the that weird board thing, the I can't remember what it's called. That was a tough step where you had to affix the old materia.
The materia. Yeah.
That was really rough.
I gave up on the Armorborn relic after the materia melding shit. I was like, this is stupid. I don't want to do anymore.
Yeah, that was weird.
Which is very early. This is how much I hate relics. Like I hate them all the time.
I don't remember if that was a 1-to-1 like no, it wasn't a 1-to-1, but it was very heavily inspired by the 1.0 quest. I think yeah. So that's why that one stands out specifically because it is from a different time.
You had to affix materia and also use Alexandrite, and to get Alexandrite, you had to do the mysterious maps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
other ways to get it.
Let's not. We are always waxing nostalgic about old relics. Let's talk about the current one
I
again.
think we're waxing nostalgia.
Weird nostalgia.
Waning nostalgia.
Waning nostalgia. We're waning nostalgia. Okay, so the relic, the people are screaming and bitching like they always do, and that's for every relic. So don't worry, this is normal for any relic. I am just happy that we got this now, and I will enjoy it, knowing that in the next expansion they'll go back and make it shitty again. That's just how it is. Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the rewards, the stuff that we get from this, other than the relic. I will also say the relics look, well, people are very mixed on the relics, actually. I really like the white mage one.
I haven't seen them yet, actually.
I've not seen
the relics.
many.
Yeah.
I think the relics are mixed in their appearance.
They are very different from each other. Yeah, there's not like one style, it seems. It seems to just be individual stuff going on here. Like
those blade ones though look so cool. I miss that.
Yeah,
I've only seen.
I like the thematic theme they had, or the theme they had going on there.
Yeah.
The Queen? You mean the Queen's Blade ones?
Yeah. The Queen's Blade. I think they had a really cool theme going on for most of the steps.
Yeah.
Shame I'll never get that shit, but.
Yeah.
That brings up a good point. Maybe they do look different because they're from different city-states.
That's true. That's possible.
That's true.
I mean, yeah. That makes sense. The White Mage one from the picture, like I said, I've only seen those three. The White Mage one's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Paladin's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the Machinist is just standard. But I've not seen the Black Mage yet.
No, I don't think any. I don't know if I've seen any of the others, but the three relics that Mela mentioned are on the lodestone in the patch notes. They're the ones that they're displaying there. Yeah. Other than that, you get gear, Final Fantasy V gear, and
that's just a cosmetic.
The cosmetic gear, and then there's.
You can also buy with silver tomes the Arcanite gear, which will be the relic armor, presumably as it upgrades. You can get it to +2 currently. Yeah. It's very cool. It's nice. It gives you additional.
I don't like the relic armor though. Lame.
I liked the
concept
elemental one. I wish I had it.
The concept of the relic armor was a good idea, but it felt weird. Like we got. Oh yeah, I remember it because it had like when you upgraded it, it got glow on the like
liked the glow
and stuff. Yeah, I remember. That's an interesting idea. I
like when they experiment with things like that. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's very optional.
It is very optional.
It is very optional. I mean, it's strange that it's not tied to Geraldton in any way.
That's really the problem with that. Yeah. The same thing that happened in Eureka is that it just was there as like no one really. There was no nudge for you to like do it. You just sort of did it, and it was weird. I don't know why they're so reluctant on adding a Weaver Geralt or whatever. Like that does
a new Geralt.
A new Geralt.
Oh, his twin brother lost at sea.
Yes.
Became a Weaver.
Yes. Yeah, I think the rewards are good, and there's still a lot of rewards, like stuff that drops from chests, stuff and old stuff from Eureka, stuff from Bosnia, stuff.
Oh my god, those chests are insane with what you can get.
Yeah,
it is such. I don't know. I wish I could see the pool of items because it is. I've barely got any repeats, and I've opened a lot of chests so far.
Same.
Oh really? You've barely gotten any repeats? I've gotten a lot of materia.
Materia. Well, obviously.
Well, I mean, as far as like. Unique items.
Like minions and
stuff.
Oh, unique items. That's fair.
Drops.
Yeah.
I've got a whole lot.
I just now got a second pair of glasses and maybe an owl. I think I don't know.
Okay.
Somehow Mailer and I both got like private Moais very quickly.
Yeah, you did. You've been talking about those endlessly. I feel like after you got them, there was no end to the talk about the private Moais.
There's some good stuff. There's some like mounts and quite a lot of old mounts. the economy has tanked because of
the market burns.
The market is on fire right now.
There's a funny game I saw someone playing once though, where they like, whatever gear you get in those chests, you glam for that session, and you make whatever fucking glam happens with whatever I was like, oh,
that's fun.
Pretty
yeah.
Horrible outfits you make, but I love it.
Yeah. Okay, well, we are running way over time, so we have to wrap here. But
we've not even, honestly, we've only scratched the surface with a lot of the discussion on this. Like, we haven't really mentioned about the fortune carrots, which is an additional system.
Yeah, the pots.
It's nothing special. It just gets you a chest. The pots as well gets you a chest. Usually, for the bunnies, it's a gold one.
Mm-hmm.
The pots, it can be a random bronze, silver, or gold.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. The raw gill is pretty good anyway. I think you gain like probably a couple million gil just from raw gil like the past week.
Yeah, probably.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So there you go. That's Occult Crescent Southhorn. We'll talk about this more probably in the future. Big story implications, obviously. Lore implication, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And great content. If we compare this to Bosnia, since that's the last like field exploration stuff that we have, or whatever this is called, how does it fare in comparison to Bosnia? Do you think?
Better. I think
the
only thing I still have kind of against it in general is that they've done a lot to reduce the like hecticness of running from thing to thing. It's still kind of there. I wish there was like a tiny bit more downtime. It feels like you get, I think, 2 minutes of downtime. At most between Cs. I mean, you don't have to do every C, of course, but there is that kind of push. Like, you're missing out. You have to run there too. You're missing out.
Yeah. It's having them go one by one actually makes it so that you feel like you actually have to do them because this is the next thing that I have to do. I agree. It is. It's weird that
it's better.
It is better.
Way better than Bosnia.
Yeah, because in Bosnia,
still
in Bosnia you would have multiple happen constantly. Like there was never a break.
Multiple fates. Multiple like everything is going on.
Yes.
Multiple C's could go off multiple at a time in Bosnia.
I wish they had the duels though. I want to see someone get brutally beaten to death. Like the middle. I love Bloodsport. What can I say?
Yeah. Okay. Georgi?
There's a little bit less story in this one zone, I feel like, compared to to both of the Bosnian zones, but the Bosnian Southern Front is the direct comparison here. But I'm not unsatisfied with the amount of story I've gotten, and I do also think there's a possibility of more before 7.55.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
We might get that big like story instance thing like they had in Bosnia later on. That could still be possible.
Regine.
Yeah, maybe.
The only reason I don't think there's Delubrum Regine is they haven't mentioned something like it at all.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd say it's a good balance between Eureka and Bosnia, and almost perfect in the in between those two systems.
Yeah.
I'm maybe a little disappointed that Forked Tower is a sort of Baldessian Arsenal type difficulty, and that it's now obviously Discord gate kept, and it's going to become very difficult to get it. Like going in early is just unfun because you die instantly, and then at some point you have to just organize yourself on a Discord server to join in a group to try and like push it.
Yeah.
Whereas the story ones like Delubrum, you could do them on day one at a struggle, and it was enjoyable to kind of push through them. I kind of miss that level of difficulty.
Fair, yeah.
Especially as it's the first tier. I would think that the Baldessian Arsenal should have been in the north wing. If they're both BA level, that would be a bit rough.
Yeah.
I do fear for its longevity as well. 14 loves to just make shit that dies once it's like no longer relevant.
Yeah.
Which you're kind of seeing with the exploration zone thing, but I mean, people will go back later on.
They will.
But it's just like, what will happen once the new expansion comes out? You know?
Well, every
Like,
time,
it's
yeah, I agree. This is like an eternal problem with 14. They just can't make it last for some reason. But like that, every time we say this, we always get people in the comments and even in live chat saying, "Oh no, this and this content is still very much alive. There are communities, whatever." I think the community keeps them alive somehow. Like I know people still doing like Baldessian Arsenal. Like people still do that.
Oh yeah, they do, but it gets regulated to like a smaller part of the community.
Yes.
And a lot of those communities are not in the game directly.
That's
They're very
true.
much like
What
go to the Discord, sign up for your role. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
I want to just be able to
make
enter
a
it from
party
the
finder.
game itself.
Yeah.
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 Like I will join that. Like cool. That's fine. I don't want to join your stupid fucking Discord. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like right now, you don't have to do that. But
what happened?
unless they make some
Quite
changes.
quickly.
Yeah, what happened with like keeping that stuff in the game? We have a party finder. I mean,
It's too hard to use and it's not really functional.
I guess so. I fellowships.
But they shouldn't have to do this to keep it alive. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
They should maybe make some changes once it's out of, when it's not the thing anymore to make it, I don't know, accessible, quicker, not exactly solvable. I don't think it should be that. But,
yeah.
do some legwork. Plan out for this to not be relevant or plan it so it can be relevant somehow
Agreed.
in the future.
Yeah.
Chad is correct that this is another instance of the difference in Japanese and Western game organization occurring.
Fuck my
I know, they have it figured out, don't
life,
they?
bro.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
damn.
The West sucks. You heard it here first.
I embrace the light
also-
of the East and cast away the shadows of the West. I'm done with this.
I don't know if this would necessarily be the solution, but I think it would definitely be improved because the way the West chooses to do it is on Discord, which is not DC locked. If Party Finder was not DC locked, like they opened it up to being able to speak to other data centers on your, other data centers
In your region?
are they? Yeah, in your region, it might bring it a little bit back to the game.
Yeah.
Maybe.
The tools just aren't fit for purpose.
No.
For what is required.
And the tools we have are too clunky. It's just
That's all I ask. I don't want to have to join a Discord to do this again in the
please.
future. That's all.
I agree.
Please.
I can't imagine.
Discord is enough. I don't want any more.
No. I don't need just going to Discord to do one piece of content in 14. I would have to have like one Discord server for Occult Crescent, one Discord server for fucking Eureka, whatever. Revival Wings.
It is a revival. I mean, shout out to them.
Shout
They're
out.
doing
Exactly.
they
Yeah,
have
they're
to
doing
do
good
this.
work.
Yeah,
I appreciate
there are no
that.
tools in game, so.
But
yeah.
I wish they didn't have to do that. Is
Exactly.
The thing.
That's the issue.
Yes. Okay. Anyways, that is not a complaint on Occult Crescent, though. Occult Crescent currently good. Well, like we said, the Pork Tower might be an issue. I don't know. I don't understand. I haven't reached this point yet. I haven't been there.
We haven't really done it yet, so
No.
we can't say too much.
No. All right. Well, that is it for today, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Remember to follow on our socials, SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersXIV, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, exclamation Discord in chat if you want to join our Discord server. And if you're watching on demand, links in the description. Stay tuned if you're watching live. We'll be going into the post show where we'll be answering questions from the Syndicate. And we'll see Pokemon Gen 2 Shinies. See you there. Bye.